Hello, this is Mariah Roth, and I will be discussing my 3 posters from the course of Research Methods. To begin the semester, we looked at the topic of discourse within research methods. Discourse is a debate or conversation about a specific topic. I chose to look at the use of mixed-use sustainable structures within urbanism. A mixed-use building is a building that houses more than one program. An example, rental apartments with street-level retail shops, or a large conditioned space that can be used for various city activities, such as galleries, shows, or starter businesses. In urban environments, people can be interacting 12 to 18 hours a day. A mixed-use structure would benefit this living style by allowing multiple businesses in a condensed area. The overall idea is not to have a structure dormant at various hours of the day when it could possibly be benefiting the area. Sustainability is a key aspect within urbanism. The definition of sustainability is simply the ability to sustain one's needs. People want to live, work, play in cities, and be close to all amenities. However, this can take a serious toll on the surrounding environment. Sustainability can be implemented on various levels. In some cases, it is the LEED Platinum building that produces its own energy, and in others, it is a simple installation of bike racks so people can use this form of transportation more easily and lessen the harsh impact of cars on the environment. The goal of sustainability is at least to equal out the negative impacts one is creating and, if possible, benefit and give back to the environment. The Botwin building is a good example of mixed-use urbanism. Before the current building was established, the site housed the old Waldo Theater, named for the neighborhood of Waldo. The Waldo Theater operated from about 1924 to 1991. After this, various commercial tenants used the structure until it burned in 2007. After the fire, the owner decided to rebuild a new structure to house various commercial tenants. The program, while all under the umbrella of commercial, is broken down into various types. The building has housed everything from coffee shops to hair salons to financial lending businesses. The Botwin building touches key aspects of urbanism such as walkability, proximity, sustainability, and quality design. The structure is located right along a major bus route within Kansas City, making it easily accessible for those close and farther out. It is located in the heart of the civic area of Waldo, allowing it to have close proximity to civic businesses and surrounding residential. Thus far, 7 years, the design and implementation of materials has stood the test of time. The Botwin building has simple, sustainable practices implemented into its construction. A green roof is present, which cuts down on heat island effect. Operable windows have been installed to allow for easier climate control by occupants, and the overhang doubles as sun shading devices, block out the harsh heat gain of the summer sun. Overall, the Botwin building is a suitable example of a mixed-use sustainable structure within the context of urbanism. After discourse, the class moved on to different types of research methods and how different tactics can affect design. The architects of the Botwin building were challenged with a very specific task. They were asked to preserve the scale and footprint of the original building, but to replant the corner while exploring the latest ideas about urban infill and sustainability. In order to produce the final design, Eldorado had to do various types of in-depth research. One type of research both Eldorado and my prospective project use is product research. This pertains mostly to sustainability. Each year, newer and better technologies are being developed and executed. While it might not always be beneficial to use the latest and greatest, one needs to understand what is available for us. In conjunction with product research comes precedent study. Was a product I am researching used elsewhere in my region? How was it performed? What were the outcomes of using this product? For Eldorado, this product research was already partially complete. The architects just previously designed the largest green roof in the region. Knowing the information they easily incorporated a green roof onto the Botwin building. An important tactic for Eldorado was historical research. Since the client wanted a very similar footprint, research of old drawings had to be done to replicate the size. Qualitative analysis of both projects is highly important. One aspect of qualitative research Eldorado and myself needed to look at is climatic and site information. For El Dorado, it was important to promote sustainability and contextual information. For my project, an understanding of the changing climatic seasons was needed, a grasp of the extent of the site topography, and the surrounding context and resources was important. In addition to those tactics, simulation and diagramming are key for both projects. With the resources of BIM, Google Earth, 3D scanners, etc., architects can more easily incorporate a design within the existing built fabric. This often lends itself to develop a more thorough and complete design before the ground is broke on a project. The third portion of the semester focused on context. Context is a far-reaching term. Because of that, the topic was narrowed down to site, program, and environmental context. For both Botwin Building and my proposed building, site context was the driving factor. The Botwin Building was constrained by site dimensions of a previous structure and by surrounding built context. Both of these constraints were reached in the final design. The new footprint is nearly identical to the historic one, and the height of the structure blends seamlessly with adjacent buildings. For my prospective project, I am constrained by the topographical site conditions, existing adjacent buildings, and zoning requirements per the City of Morgantown, West Virginia. The client wants to construct a 300-bed apartment building. However, per zoning and site requirements given, it is unknown if the task can be accomplished. The programmatic requirements for the Botwin Building seem to flawlessly fit into the building outline created by the site. The two boxes are created that allow for a combination of approximately 4 tenants. Currently, the building holds a restaurant, coffee shop, hair salon, and investment company. This mix of tenants allows for balance of when the spaces are occupied and being used. The Waldo neighborhood is an area affluent with local businesses and shops. The tenants of the Botwin Building add to this eclectic mix and help the neighborhood thrive. The programmatic requirements of the prospective project don't fit as easily into the proposed site. Zoning constraints of the site require supportive retail space as well as adequate parking for both retail and rental apartments. In addition, setback requirements and a 72-foot max height restriction quickly begin to constrain the building significantly. A concern that arises from all of these requirements is adjacencies within the structure itself. What elements are best near each other? Only much further study would yield the answer of whether or not a 300 rental unit apartment building is possible. The final element of discussion is environmental context. El Dorado was specifically asked to look at sustainable practice in their design. On the prospective project, I believe it would be a wise decision to look at the impact of a large-scale building has on the surrounding context. El Dorado uses various elements to aid in the reduction of environmental impact. However, the biggest impact is derived from the natural ventilation of their operable windows. While operable windows may seem to be a small aspect, they can have a large effect. The operable windows allow for occupants to have better and personalized control over their indoor environment. With better control, occupants can reduce energy that is used, reduce heat that is produced from installed systems, reduce cost of operating installed systems, and improve indoor air quality. Operable windows can have a positive snowball effect within a building, and the best part is that the windows create no negative effect on the indoor or outdoor environment. Since operable windows have such favorable qualities, it is a no-brainer to install them on my prospective project. Operable windows would have an even greater effect on our larger building compared to the Botwin Building. Also, the air quality of the site ranks to the level of good, the best you can get, which would only help the surrounding environment of the proposed building. By studying El Dorado's Botwin Building, I have a better and more in-depth understanding of discourse, methods, and purpose, and how those relate to the overall concept of research